Hey, what's up with it? I dropped my phone. What's up with it? What's up with it? Hey, what's up, Minnow? How you doing, man? Okay. Here we go. This is officially layer 8 of Torghast Twisting Corridor. Hopefully we can get up to some crazy numbers. I know I had posted some screenshots on the channel of us kind of popping off, getting a ton of health and stuff like that, and people were confused or had like misconceptions. So I wanted to save the last layer to do on the stream. So we're going to go through this. I'll kind of talk about some of the strategies specifically in Twisting Corridor, because it is, I'm going to turn the volume up here a little bit. It is a little bit different than normal Torghast just because it lasts so long. But we're going to go ahead and summon up our Felguard. You saw the first trait that we got there is arguably the most important trait. So I'm going to touch on this because when this VODs, this is one of the main things people are going to want to see and understand and know. Pact of Infernal Intimacy is our strongest anima power by far. You can only get one of them. The sooner you get it, the easier all this is going to be. Even with all of the scaling, very, very good traits all the way through, or powers, anima powers. It's still really hard when you get to level like 18, 17, 18, right? It can still be really tough. So we still have to pay attention. Talents and everything are up here on the top, but just to go over it real briefly, we're running Demonic Consumption. We're running Demonic Synergy Legendary in our helm. I'm 215 eye level, just to kind of go through all of the basics. What's up, Steven? How you doing, man? Can't log into my Warlock now. I'm on floor 6. Why can't you log in? Computer shut down. It's saying like a character with that name already exists. That's not good. Yeah, so being completely honest, I actually did die on layer 7. I tried it a couple days ago, and so one of the weaknesses, or I'd say like the strongest weakness or biggest weakness, a better way to phrase it, with Demo is that your pet is really strong. Let me turn the game sound down a little bit. Your pet's very strong, but you're not as strong as your pet. So what ended up happening to me is I basically got wrecked from archers like attacking me. Like I got one shot. And then once that happens, you lose all your pet buffs that are stacking, and then it's really hard to recover. So that's kind of the biggest thing you got to be aware of. I'll try and point out, I'm sure we'll probably get them at some point through this. I'll try and point out. Did you guys see how fast that was? That was so OP. Big brain I used. That was all mental telepathy. So I'm not going to get the instant demon summon because hopefully we don't have to summon our demon again. One thing you'll notice too a lot of times is I'll Fellstorm on pull, like the not demonic strength but just the kind of normal basic Fellstorm. I do this so that my pet will get aggro, because like I said, it's very common. I mean, if you get aggro and the mobs are attacking you at all, you are not very tanky, so it can be a little bit scary. Synergy is pretty good on Demo. I like it. Yeah, I actually, the more and more I played with Synergy, the more I'm thinking it's going to be my go-to, actually. I think that there's cases where there's other legendaries that are stronger, but I think Demonic Synergy is actually really, really great as far as just its strength overall. Okay. This warrants a little quick pause as well. Hellfire Pact, I mentioned this in the other video, but this is the other big one you want to go for. If you stack the Intimacy Pact and this pact, the amount of damage your Felguard does is insane. That's the biggest reason I do run Soul Strike in Torghast every single time, just because it scales insanely strong. Oh, that was bad. I was trying to pull back to get the Archer back because I didn't want to pull the boss yet. Go ahead and just life drain up here. So this is the exact like floor, whatever it's called. I don't know all the terminology, so if I mess up some of the terms of what some of this stuff is called, I apologize in advance. But this is the same kind of layout that I had messed up the first time when I had done this, because I basically, those archers, like that one that was right there, ended up aggroing me, and that's what ended up killing me. So there's a couple anima powers that can help us avoid that if we can get lucky with getting them, but we have to be real cautious of the archers in this because those archers do a ton of damage. Okay, another one here. Now this is Bottled Enigma. This is the anima power I was referring to that helps us deal with those archers because the archers won't attack us if we're out of range of them. They won't be able to see us. And so this can be very, very helpful for our survivability. However, Hellfire Pact and getting 3 of those early is very, very helpful. Now, Hellfire Pact only stacks up to 3. Same with the Pact of, I think it's like Pact of Thickness is what it's called, which is like the equivalent, but it's health instead of damage. So the earlier you can get those, the easier time you're gonna have. Just with Torghast in general. These corruption anima traits are crap. They're so useless. Was Synergy better than Wilfred's for demo? The short answer is no, but there are people that are actually doing very well on certain fights with Demonic Synergy. Overall, generally speaking, in a raid environment, Wilfred seems to be better. Generally speaking. But it also just depends on the fight, your guys' strategy, because if you end up running like Demonic Strength and you have some really strong Fellstorms, and just depending on a lot of variables, there are times where there's people that are wearing Synergy that are outperforming people that are wearing Wilfrids. Is that a better way to answer it? How much of that is like based on strictly eye level, or, you know, people are in a better guild than another person and stuff like that? It's really hard to say. But generally speaking, they're both very good. The main thing for me is that Synergy is very strong in things like Torghast. It's very strong in PvP. Again, this is one of my favorite anima powers. Blood Gorge Leech is a big one I try and stack. I believe you can only get 3 of these as well. I could be wrong on that, but I think you can only get that up to 3 times. But about 3 of them is usually what I'm aiming for anyway. I don't know if there's like a higher cap than that. See, so you have to be careful with these archers. Like, if I'm attacking too soon and my pet's not getting an auto off, I get aggro on them. And that was what I had done the first time when I had wiped on layer 7. What do you think the best pair for demo is for 2s for PvP? I've been running with a Paladin. Holy Paladin's very good, and Resto Shaman's very good. Those are the 2 that I would think is the best. I've played most of my games. The person that I've been playing with in my 2s is a Resto Shaman, and one of the guys that raids with us that I've played with for a long time. But I know some very high rated demo locks that I've, like, you know, messaged and hit up and looked at Arena Mate and things like that. They run Holy Pally is another very popular comp. So I think either of them are good. Holy Pally I could see being really strong because you just have like a ton of stuns between your pet and Holy Pally. So like if you get on the same page as far as being able to kind of synchronize your stuns, I can see that being very good. I just don't have any Holy Pallies that I really play with at all currently, so I haven't tried that comp out. But I would say those 2 are probably your best bet. And then either of those in 3s with like Warrior is really fun. I really like running with Warrior, surprisingly. Warrior can give you some really cheesy potential setups as well, because you can basically do like the little bastion like banner thing, and you can do like all of your stuff on top of that where people can't like jump out of it. There's some pretty fun little setups you can do with Warrior. Ret Pally is also a fun comp to run with, but I think if you're playing with a Holy Pally, I don't know that Ret would be as good, or like, you know, you already have kind of some of that utility. So in raids in the opener, Rallying Cry, PI, PvP, Health Trinket, and Tyrant, that would be ideal. I was talking with one of the guys that one of my buddies about Rallying Cry. And trying to like do that at some point. A lot of the current content, we need the Rallying Cry, like we're using it as a defensive. So I haven't been able to test that yet. But you have like Fort, for example, right? With Fortitude, like you can see I'm almost at 40k health. With Fortitude, I'm over 40k health. and you have Rallying Cry. You get another, you know, 15k HP from your health trinket. It would be pretty nuts. But I haven't gotten to test that yet, as far as like including Rallying Cry in our burst damage. But we'll do it soon. I have also messed with. I didn't stream the raid yesterday because I've been having some issues with my computer in the raid because the raid's kind of taxing. But bought a new computer today. Should be here. It's gonna be a little while because everything's on back order, but I think we'll be able to get some higher quality content out here pretty soon for you guys. But that's why I didn't stream the raid yesterday. I'm gonna kick that armor plating because that can be kind of brutal. I don't have demonic strength up for 10 seconds, so I'm gonna actually pull back here. These guys are all really easy if I have demonic strength up. But what I was gonna say is I've been messing with the different soul binds and stuff, and I think there's some viability to running the Fel Domination reduction conduit, and then also re-summoning up your Tyrant, or sorry, your Felguard before you summon your Tyrant with the trinket. Just the way the timing is on the trinket, it doesn't really contribute any of your Felguard's health if you don't do that. So I surmise here pretty soon I'll probably update the biggest Tyrant kind of setup, and we'll use things like Rallying Cry and all that kind of stuff and really kind of test it out. Is it important when you have PI to pop the trinket? So, in a perfect world, no. The short answer to that is no. In a perfect world, you want to have PI up while your Tyrant is up. That's really what's important. It's pretty difficult to time PI well because it's contingent on someone else doing it at a specific time in your big burst rotation. But when you ideally want it, if you have PI up when you're casting your Hand of Gul'dan and your Shadow Bolts, like right before you cast your Tyrant, right? Because right before you get to your Tyrant, you go up to 5 shards, and then you either double Hand of Gul'dan or you Hand of Gul'dan, Shadow Bolt, Hand of Gul'dan to get 2 3-shard hands, right? If you can have PI up during that time, it can be very helpful because that can make it a lot easier for you to get 2 3-shard Hand of Gul'dans instead of a 3 and a 2. So ideally, like 4 or 5 seconds before your Tyrant goes out, you would be getting PI. And you want to have PI up in a perfect world while the entire time while your Tyrant's active, because your Tyrant's casting speed changes based on how much haste you have. So the more haste you have during the time when he's up, the more Demon Fires he'll cast. That makes sense? It's kind of confusing if I'm not like specifically walking through exactly what I'm trying to say, so let me know if I'm not being clear on it. One other thing to watch out for is that accrued strength buff that those guys cast later on. If they do cast that, you end up getting like, they can like one-shot your homie, your Felguard. We can see our demonic consumption here. This is a little bit bugged. The way that this scales. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Click this guy. I feel like this is definitely a little bit bugged because I can't get this to show the tooltip to read over like 3,000. So this is what I was talking about earlier, the Bottled Enigma. I'm going to go ahead and take this because this will help a lot with making sure we survive the archers, which can be problematic in these. How's Demo holding up? It is holding up great, Mr. Skull. It's actually super fun in Torghast too. I don't know if you've tried it yet or not. Very, very fun in Torghast, though. This can play like looping music, can it? I don't know if it does it in Torghast. One downside though is that Demo's real slow, just kind of walking around in Torghast. Like, oh, this stuff is a little bit monotonous. None of these are great. Honestly, I don't even really want to do this. I guess I can like maybe take Dark Pact here. And I don't really use Dark Pact, and I don't want to use the thing that's gonna like leech my health to move around a little bit quicker. Grab this. I always will grab the health increases, and I'll grab one of these based off how much we have, and I'll grab this crit. So Shadow Fury stun increase, not amazing, but it is pretty nice, and I'm gonna grab the health funnel here as well. That damage reduction can be pretty helpful later on if we get some bigger packs. Stop playing in BFA, but things look like it really make me want to come back. Your last PvP video is the same. Had the old fingers itching. Yeah, Shadowlands is surprisingly good. I think they've done a good job in general. No matter like what spec or what class you want to play, I think Shadowlands is from a player's perspective, I think it's been very successful in a lot of what they've, you know, should be setting out to accomplish with these expansions. I think the raid stuff is fun. There's definitely some imbalance kind of stuff in PvP, but that's kind of inevitable. For the most part, I think PvP is pretty balanced, and PvP feels good. The gearing is much better than it's been in the past. Like, there's just a lot of really good things that they did in Shadowlands. What about the PvP trinket? When do I pop that? So I popped the PvP trinket. It kind of depends a little bit on what full setup you're running with your conduits and stuff, but I have a macro if I'm playing. When you're talking about soul bonds, like, so for Necro, Emini I think is the best one for raid for us, and that also gives us 5% health increase when we fleshcraft. So I have a macro where I fleshcraft and pop my health trinket, and I basically use that as one global cooldown before I go into my opener. I do that at the very beginning because it takes about 15-20 seconds to summon up all your minions if you time everything well. And so it's basically kind of like the first cast that you cast is that. I also have it macroed into using my Grimoire Felguard, so it just kind of depends. Just kind of depends on what I'm doing. Like in PvP, for example, I have it just macroed with my Felguard. So I hate these, but I think I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I don't like not being able to jump, but I think I'm going to take this because 30% stam is going to be massive. But it really bugs me not being able to jump because I jump all the time. This one's okay. The refilling the elixir of life is basically like a cheat death kind of thing. Not crazy, but there's definitely worse anima powers. I don't know why they have all of the corruption anima powers for Demo. Makes like no sense at all. Like, I think if I got every single one of those, I still don't think it would be worth it to cast corruption. I don't understand why they have it set up like that. Yeah, we should have one more anima power up here. So I'm gonna go with this one. The shadow damage has a chance to blind the target, reducing their chance to hit. It's not insane, but it's definitely nice because, you know, we are casting Shadow Bolt and stuff like that. It will trigger, and it can help on some of the boss situations with our pet survivability. I always mean to, I forget to, but I always mean to drop like a demonic circle down here so we can just like pour it back down. I also keep hitting my spacebar and I'm not jumping. Come on, little guy. The tyrant or raid opener where you can't afford to make the big tyrant. So yeah, if you can't afford to do like the full opener, your priority is like your Dreadstalkers, Vile Fiend, and Grimoire Felguard all are about the same amount of health in total. A full 3 shard Hand of Gul'dan is health-wise is the equivalent of 1 of your Dreadstalkers. And when you cast Call Dreadstalkers, you summon 2, right? So from strictly talking about like your Tyrant and your Demonic Consumption value, so I really don't like running this because it like leeches health. So I try to avoid taking that one unless it's just there's all the other options are crap. But this will be kind of fun. We can have Power Siphon too. Nice. Okay, Blood Gorge Leech again. I'll take it, I'll take it. I think this is the boss right here. Yeah. So you basically want to prioritize Vile Fiend, Dreadstalkers, and Grimoire Felguard as your, you know, your kind of like main casts to focus on when you're talking about specifically Tyrant damage if you can't get up your other stuff. So I'm going to take this Decimating Bolt one. I get a little hesitant with taking this because it reduces your healing done, and I don't know exactly how that scales with like my pet's healing or like health stones and stuff like that. So I will take those if there's no other option, but I'm hesitant to grab something that's just going to reduce my healing by 25%. But yeah, so it kind of do like a priority system. Like Vile Fiend, Grimoire Felguard, and Dreadstalkers should be pretty easy to get off in like a window prior to your Tyrant. That's what I would be like. That's my biggest priority. If like there's, say I'm doing a raid mechanic or a raid and like, you know, some mechanics happen and you can't, you know, sit there and get the whole rotation off, I'll basically prioritize those, and then if I have to move, I have to move, and just try and make sure I get all of those off prior to the Tyrant, because those are the most bang for your buck, like per cast, you know. And then as many imps as you can squeeze. The imps help, but the imps are not as much as far as like time spent casting them to value. You gain more from Vile Fiend, Grimoire, and Dreadstalkers. Dare a bit, do you have a bunch of crypto? Hand of Gul'dan talent's really good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the way that it feels. I mean, it's fun. I don't know. We'll see. The problem is like I really like getting a bunch of haste, and I've had times where like I've almost accidentally killed myself because it's like you end up getting like 3 or 4 casts off, and it happens about the same time as a damaging mechanic. And most of my damage, like the vast majority of my damage with this build and this setup that I try and focus on, is coming from my Felguard anyway. So it's like having a bunch of imp damage would be nice, but that's not really like where my damage focus is. Oh, what's up, Zane? How you doing, man? Is Demo good in Mythic Plus? I enjoy the gameplay, but I was worried I'm not able to push far. Demo is very good in Mythic Plus with certain setups as far as your talents in legendaries go. Unfortunately, Mythic Plus is one of the aspects or like one of the types of content that I don't play a ton of. I need to start doing more of it. Oh, this is huge. Chance to grant you 35% mastery. Thank you very much. But I need to do that more. That's one of my plans here. I wanted to get this done to help with the ease of farming the moss so that we get the sockets. But I do plan on doing some more Mythic Plus stuff. But long story short, Demo is very good in Mythic Plus for sure. The biggest issue you'll have playing Demo is people's like prejudice towards like the fact that you're not playing Affliction. There's not really a whole lot you can do with that though. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of, anytime you're playing something that's not meta, that's a reality. So I'm just going to take the Phantasm here. I don't want to, obviously I don't want to reduce my shadow damage and healing. I don't think I need the leech. And we already have, I think I already have one of the chains. We're not going to summon our pet again anyway. He's not going to die, okay? Dreadlash build is really good in Mythic Plus. Yeah, you can basically run like Dreadlash and from the shadows and kind of prioritize implosion on like packs and stuff like that. There's a few variations of talent builds and legendary combos that are really fun in Mythic Plus. I don't know which ones are, you know, the strongest, and I think it changes a little bit too depending on which dungeon. Okay, so this is one that I actually try and grab very often. Reduces your stamina by 10, but 20% haste on all my minions is insane. So we're definitely going to pick that up. I really prefer having as much health as possible, but at the same time, 20% haste is a ton of bonus damage. Okay, let's see. We have Tyrant up in 5 seconds. I'm not going to wait for the health trinket here because I don't want to wait another 30 seconds, but enjoy the YouTube really got me into WoW again. I'm glad. I like to hear that, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay, so we're going to Tyrant, then we're going to Decimating Bolt for that crit buff, and then I'm going to Demonic Strength right off of that. I can go ahead and use Power Siphon here as well. Casual 52k DPS. Fellstorm, just 90k Fellstorm crits. So all of these are actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna go with Sacrifice Souls here though. This makes our UI a little bit wonky. Let me move the let's move this over because I needed to do this because they constantly just overlap. Is Dreadlash build better than the normal build for Mythic Plus? I'm Kyrian. I actually don't know much about the Kyrian stuff at all because most people are playing Night Fae. And I'm obviously not Kyrian, so I can't really tell you much about Kyrian when it comes to demonology. But that Dreadlash build is the most enjoyable to me, I think, in Mythic Plus. I also haven't really gotten to test out like this demonic strength, demonic synergy kind of combination. A lot of it's going to depend on the dungeon because like the Implosion legendary, for example, is very good, but on specific dungeons it requires you to have kind of bigger packs to really get value from it. If you have like smaller like 2 and 3 pack pulls throughout the dungeon, it's a lot harder to get value from something like the Implosion legendary. So a lot of it's going to change a little bit depending on the dungeon and stuff. And like I said, I haven't played Mythic Plus enough to be able to confidently tell you like, yeah, this is the best all the time, or this is really good. I've had fun playing Demonic Strength. I've had fun playing the Dreadlash setup, like in doing Implosions. They're all really cool. It just kind of depends on the group you're running, like how hard the key is, how fast and how big are the pulls that your tank is doing. There's just a lot of variables to take into consideration. It's not as easy. It's kind of like a one size fits all, you know what I mean? Can we see your stats? Like these right here? Is that what you mean? Or what other stats? You mean like my gear? We're at 215 eye level. What stats should I prio in PvP? So basically in PvE, I really prioritize haste. The only bad thing I would say about haste is that when you start getting into like having PI, if you know, are the one or one of the people in your raid getting PI, like in our raids, if you guys see, like I will get PI all the time in raid, but I also do a lot of damage, so that's part of the reason why I get PI. If you're getting PI and then you also start pairing things like Bloodlust and Heroism, and you have a lot of haste, you can kind of start getting to these breaking points where it's like ideally I wouldn't have so much haste, but generally speaking, for the vast majority of the time, I prioritize haste, and then I get verse. Those are like the two stats that I really try and get. I didn't mean to do that. Fellstorm there. That's kind of like my two that I get. Verse, crit, and mastery are all very, very, very close when it comes to your actual like simming damage values. So the reason I really prioritize running, I don't like either of these. The reason I really prioritize running verse is because that's our, you know, obviously a very good stat in PvP. Helps a lot with just survivability, and it's just like blanket damage increase. Mastery can be really good, but if you start going like a sacrifice souls type setup, right, where you're focusing more on demon bolts and shadow bolts, mastery's not giving you any value there, right? Because mastery's our demon damage. So mastery can be very good playing like a demonic consumption build, but it's not that flexible. Like you're kind of stuck. You're pigeonholed into like that setup, you know what I mean? And that's really my only hesitation with mastery. I think I really at some point want to try like stacking a ton of mastery and seeing how we do, and some things like that, and kind of playing with some of those setups and different builds. But I haven't gotten to really like test all those out yet. We don't have enough gear accessible to us to run a bunch of different builds. Verse in PvP, I mean, verse is just a flat damage increase, right? And like the healing scale, like you have a lot of healing between like your demon skin, healthstone, coil. Like your survivability is very much like your healing is very much a part of your survivability, your self-healing. Taking less damage, like I don't know if you guys catch any of the streams, there's very often I'm like the last one alive if we have like a semi-wipe situation, because we have a ton of health and I have a ton of verse, we have demon skin, like we have all these ways of kind of mitigating a bunch of damage. So for being a DPS, we're still really, really tanky. And verse is just giving you passive damage. It's just a flat damage increase. And if you PvP at all, obviously having floor 7, I think we'll get Phantasm here. I don't usually grab that one, but we'll go ahead and grab it. Main 3 legendaries I go for are Wilfred's, Horn Nightmare, and Synergy. Yeah, I mean those are the three to me. Those are the three that I use or that I'm like the most fond of. Implosion, I know I've talked with some warlocks and they're able to use Implosion legendary and like pop off and just do a ton of damage. I'm not very good at using it. It's not really my play style. I actually tried recording a video utilizing it, but I did Theater of Pain, which was like a really bad like dungeon for the Implosion legendary, so I didn't post it because I felt like it was gonna make Implosion, like the Implosion legendary, look worse than it actually is. I'm gonna try and like use it in one of the dungeons that it's better in. But yeah, that one's I'm just not a fan of it because on boss fights and stuff it just feels bad because you're not getting any value from it. But it's really a playstyle preference, man. I mean, if you really like Mythic Plus and dungeon content and you really like that kind of like big haste implosion playstyle, it definitely has its cases where it's very, very good. It's just not as universally good in, you know, different types of content. Damn, dude, we're getting like all of the free talent things. Should we kill this thing? I think he has a trait. My weak auras gets a little bit wonky once we start getting double traits. Really? No anima power, man? Come on. Come on. That Eternal Torment or whatever it's called does a lot of damage to your pet. So you don't have to kick it, but it'll do like probably about half of your pet's health. Another thing you have to watch for is when you get onto the next floor, like each new floor, your pet's health, when you have like all these health stacking things, it does this really like wonky thing, and it like resets its health and then like buffs it back up. So he's at like half health at the beginning, like every single time. It's super frustrating. Okay, we'll kill this guy and then we'll open the chest up. We just chain stun him, 100 to 0 stun. Ooh. This is insane. Max health by 45%. That's a big one. If you can grab the health stacking ones, those are really, really huge. Because it scales with our demon skin. I'm going to grab this. I actually don't like grabbing the fleshcraft one because I really like it as like a defensive. Because if you're running this int one, you want to basically keep this int buff up like as much as possible. I'm pretty bad about using fleshcraft like on cooldown, but I think the I don't like the shorter fleshcraft and like it explodes. It's like you don't need that extra damage. Boom, you see that? That was some big brain decision making right there. Grab the extra arcane damage. I think you can ask for Rallying Cry in the opener and it'll be back up by the time the raid needs it. That's a good point. I should ask that and see. It depends on the fight, right? Because it just depends on when you actually need it. I'm telling you, Rallying Cry and PI opener, PvP health trinket. I know that is insane. That's a lot of health stacking. How much health does Rallying Cry give? It's percentage based, right? Is it 20%? It's kind of a ridiculous meta if you think about it. It's like, yeah, if we just pop all of the bonus health things, then the Demonology Warlock will do as much damage as the Affliction Warlock. I wonder how much of this is like intentional or like Blizzard didn't think would work this way. I have a hard time thinking that they're like, yeah, if Demo Warlocks use the HP trinket, it'll boost their damage with demonic consumption. Like, I don't think that was like a planned interaction, you know what I mean? Crafting my first Demo Legendary I find Af rather boring. Should I be going Wilfred's or Horn if I plan to do a bit of Mythic Plus and raiding? So, do you have Demonic Synergy, Shipwreck? Demonic Synergy, we were just talking about this earlier, is like my new favorite legendary with Demo. I'm using it right now. You see I just got the buff on my... Oh, I also did this weak aura too. If you see, this Demonic Synergy is for my pet, and then I have one that pops up down here if it's for me. So you guys can kind of see how often it procs and all that. %, 15%. Also Stamina Flask. So the Stamina Flask and Potion, from what I could tell, like in the little bit of testing that I had done with it briefly, we're not as much damage value for your Tyrant as just having extra int. Because your Tyrant's base damage is based on your intellect, right? So, not to mention like all your pet's damage and stuff. The only damage that scales... Let me go with this little bloating fodder. Is that what it's called? I do have demonic synergy. So demonic synergy is actually a very like solid legendary for us. And I think demonic synergy, as we get later and later into the expansion, is actually going to be our best legendary because it's percentage damage scaling. So when we start getting to a point later on with more of our damage or a bigger percentage of our damage being demon bolts and shadow bolts because we have more and more intellect and just more and more stats, demonic synergy will just innately gain value when that starts happening. Demonic synergy is also very good when it comes to PvP. Just the part of your damage that it's contributing to is very applicable to like just a PvP environment. Your Felguard is generally a really big chunk of your damage in PvP. So it's a very, very good PvP choice. And it obviously has, you know, decent scaling when you're talking about Mythic Plus and stuff as well. Okay, we got the two that are our favorite go-tos here. Hellfire Pact. It's really nice, guys. I got the new monitor, so everything is on the screen. No one's even mentioned it a single time since we got this. I literally went on Amazon and bought the new monitor so I didn't have everything half cut off the screen for you guys. And then we got Pact of Thickness. This is increasing our pet's health by an additional 50%. Claw of Endreth is okay. I will try and pick it up usually at some point throughout the run, but it's not one that I prioritize. We have another 200 points here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and grab another Anima cell just to see if we can get lucky with some of these traits maybe. Crap. I'll go with the decimating bolt damage. Why not? Okay, this is really good. This stacks up. So this will give us a 30% crit chance and increase the crit damage by an additional 30% as well. It's a very, very strong buff. You basically just, when I get those, I'm sure that there's comparable ones probably for, I would assume, for the other covenants as well. I basically cast Decimating Bolt immediately right after my Tyrant, and then I Demonic Strength right after my Decimating Bolt. So your Demonic Strength ends up being a big, big chunk of your opener burst, and then it has a 30% increased chance to crit, and it does 30% more increased crit damage, so it's really, really good in that kind of sequence. I use it for AF. Do I run the Felguard Conduit? Yeah, I run... The Felguard Conduit and Born of Blood are the two best conduits for us when you're talking kind of like just DPS-wise. The Carnivorous Stalkers, the Dreadstalker one, can be good if you're playing any kind of like Dreadstalker type build, like if you're running Dreadlash, if you're running the Dreadstalker Legendary. Carnivorous Stalkers has value, but it's a little bit of RNG. Generally, the two potency conduits I run the vast majority of the time is going to be Born of Blood and Fel Commando. Those are your two. They're just like always good. Born of Blood helps kind of with the flow of this gameplay in general. And then Fel Commando is just very good. And Fel Commando is obviously amazing if you're running like Soul Strike, Demonic Strength, it just, you know, Demonic Synergy Legendary. There's just a lot of cohesion between all of those. So I'm a big fan of that playstyle. I also think the thing that's kind of interesting to me with running Demonic Synergy is that I think because a lot of our pet's damage does end up coming from us. Let me rephrase that. A lot of our damage done ends up coming from our pet. I need to get rid of this error message too. Kind of bugging me. Being able to be aware of Demonic Synergy procs and timing our abilities correctly when we have the procs is a kind of a part of like the skill ceiling that it's gonna we'll have as we start getting later and later into Shadowlands. It'll be more noticeable, for example, if you have a player in a raid, right, similar raid environment, and someone's using Demonic Strength every time they have a synergy proc, and someone's just using Demonic Strength all the time whenever it's up, you're gonna have difference in actual, you know, output and how well people are performing depending on how good they are at being aware of, you know, the demonic synergy procs and things like that. At least that's my guess as of right now. That's kind of what I would assume is going to be the case. It kind of already feels like that a little bit, and I think it's just gonna keep scaling as we get better and better gear. I think I'll just probably upgrade synergy. Yeah, so my plan right now, I have rank 2 of Horn Nightmare and demonic synergy. I am going to just level up demonic synergy all the way. Because even if Horn Nightmare might be a little bit better, and like Wilfred's for sure is very good in a lot of raid situations, I use demonic synergy all the time when I'm not in raid. That's like my go-to. So so even if the other ones are doing a little bit better in certain situations, I use demonic synergy all the time. So I think for me it just makes the most sense. Didn't even use demonic strength on this guy, who's on cooldown still. Big one right here, Pact of Thickness. This increased on Unending Resolve. I do like to have one of these before I get to the last boss, because it ends up lasting like 2 minutes, so you can basically pop it and make sure that you don't get like one shot by something. But it's not like urgent to pick it up, right? It's not one that I prioritize. If I have any of the other ones that increase our damage output, I usually snag those first. Love Demonology Warlock and love your videos. The trinket, when you consider, what trinket would you consider instead of the PvP one? Hey, thanks for the kind words, man. I appreciate it. It's a good question. I'm actually pretty eager to try setups without the PvP trinket. I think well, there's a lot of options, honestly. We're going Decimating Bolt here. There's a lot of options regarding that, because it depends on kind of like passive and active, the fight, what legendaries you're running. The 1 minute on use like PvP trinket, this one, the badge, can be very, very good paired with like Wilfred's, where you basically have the badge up more or less every time you have Wilfred's up. That's a setup that I think has some validity to it. The passive trinkets are definitely good, like Unbound Changeling, which is, I think it's from Mists, I think is where it drops. Does it say on here? No. Is very good. This on use trinket is very good. This is out of Theater of Pain. Both of the PvP trinkets are definitely decent for us. None of the trinkets from the raid I think are very good. I could be really wrong on that, but I haven't. When I looked at them at first glance, they didn't seem particularly exciting. And maybe if we get a good drop and we have like a high eye level one, I'll feel a little bit different about it. But I feel like most of the good trinkets are either the PvP trinkets or some of the stuff from the Mythic Plus content. Have you tried Demonology and RBG? Yes, I have. Demonology is a lot of fun in RBGs. We're going to do sometime here pretty soon. We're going to do, with you guys, we'll do like a full Demonology group RBG with 3 healers. We'll run 7 Demo locks. And, shoot, dude, I really wish I knew how this scaled with our... Should we take this? I'm a little worried about like this making my pet like not heal for very much, but I think 30% crit damage is pretty nuts. YOLO, we're going for it. But we're gonna do a 7 Demo Warlock with 3 healers RBGs here pretty soon. Demo is very good in RBGs. Your team fight is very strong. People don't expect it. Your single target, like Affliction has dot protection with UAs, right? That's kind of the value add of having Affliction, is they have a lot of cleave damage. They have UAs, so people can't get dispelled. That's obviously always good. However, my single target pressure, if me and a Warlock are able to free cast, my single target pressure in PvP is insane. You have a stun that Affliction doesn't have. You're a little bit tankier, so you're a better base sitter than Affliction by a pretty significant margin. Affliction's pretty squishy by comparison. So I don't know that it necessarily takes the place of Affliction at all, the fact that you're both Warlocks. But Demo definitely has its I mean, it's not rare at all in the RBGs I've played where, like, I'm top damage and, you know, I have the vast majority of killing blows or, like, a ton of single target pressure. Like, basically all of our damage profile is all single target. Oh, I can't hear those. So there's something to be said for that. It's very different. I have gotten kicked out of a couple groups because they're like, oh, we thought you were Affliction. That happens all the time though, like, because I almost always am playing something that's off meta. So I'm used to just, it's like, I literally, this was like 2 or 3 days ago, I literally did an RBG. I was sitting Lumbermill, we got a Wrathy Basin, right? I was sitting Lumbermill. They had no stealthies on their team, and the rest of my team was fighting at BS, and we weren't winning the fight. And I was like, okay, I'll go try and take farm. They had an Affliction Warlock sitting at farm. I go wreck this Affliction Warlock 1v1, cap the base. We hold 3 bases because we kept losing the BS fight and won the game. Solely because I got the 1v1 and I capped farm. Then he kicked me after the game because he said I wasn't Affliction. I'm like, are you high right now? Are you, like, the only reason we won that is because I literally 1v1 the Affliction Warlock. It was the most ridiculous. I'm like, I could see if I just, like, was useless, or even if I just base set, like, a base by myself. But the play that I made against an Affliction Warlock and won the 1v1 specifically because I was an Affliction, and Demo just is so much stronger in those situations. And then he kicked me because he's like, no, you're not Affliction. I'm like, dude, get out of here. So this is actually really insane. This isn't good for the 18th floor, but this is a really, really insane. We don't have any souls here. I'll grab it here to show you guys because it gets pretty cheesy. But you basically, if you can find any of the souls towards the end of a given floor, it makes your Felguard just do a ton of damage. Where do you think Little Kim ranks among female rappers? That's a good question. I think Little Kim's definitely up there. I think Missy Elliott is probably OG female rapper. Like, I'm a big Missy Elliott fan. Like, if you're talking throwback, like, what's the most nostalgic music that you hear and you're like, hell yeah. And you're talking about female rapper category, I think Missy Elliott's gonna take the cake. I'm trying to think of who else would be up there besides. I'm gonna take this other, like, little damaging one. We already got a couple of those, like, healing orbs. I'm not a huge Nicki Minaj fan. I'm not a Cardi B fan. Like, again, they're both rappers, right? They fall in that category. Lil Kim, who else? You have, like, Eve. I would say she's top 3. I would say Lil Kim is, like, 2nd or 3rd behind Missy Elliott. Yeah, Alonzo knows. Yeah, Eve. Okay, we have 240. I'm gonna take this mastery, and then we'll get one of these. Your patronage is on. Oh, dude. Okay, I'm gonna take this because we're gonna be crit capped with our decimating bolt if we take another one of these, I think, because that's gonna be 45. So I'm gonna take this, the crit damage. So see though, like when we reset this floor, see how it makes my pet have half health? So it's really annoying. So you have to sit here and, like, have to health funnel like 7 times. What's the highest DPS you've reached in Torghast? My highest DPS was around 350k DPS in Torghast, like single target. I don't really count like the big like AoE pulls and stuff like that because some of those have gotten insane. But single target was around like 300, 330, 335, something like that. People never trust me because I don't play Affliction. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's unfortunately kind of part of what you have to deal with if you're playing anything that's, you know, not meta. It's kind of just par for the course, you know? $117k right there. Tyrant did a lot of damage. 109k Demon Fire crit. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Should we grab this? Durations increased by 100%. I feel like I really want to have this for the last floor. And we already have like 50 soul remnants because we got those couple of those traits earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of those. Isn't it super long to actually get to layer 8? Yeah, it takes a while. Did the math yesterday. When we get to level or floor 18, let me move this. I forgot that this does this. No. No. It's one of these. It's one of these. Here. I think that moves that. Did it? Oh, I don't know. I tried. Oh, here. So, like... Here, let me show you. So, if we grab this, then we get this 200% buff. Bottled Shadow. Watch how much damage our autos do. 86,000. 230k crit. Legion Strike. So watch, I'll send in my pet here. I'm gonna grab this. Free the soul. Now watch. I'm gonna go ahead and just Tyrant here actually off this. But yeah, so once we get to floor 18, it'll be 144 floors that we've gone through. 144. Take Phantasm here. All to get a mount so we don't have to waddle around the mall like a loser. Honestly, doing the Maw as a Warlock is pretty miserable. Having like just normal move speed. Okay, so having a Soul Remnant here when you have this 200% buff, this thing, Bottled Shadow, right next to a boss is like perfect. Okay, you guys ready for this? This is gonna be big damage right here. Go here. This. Oh, I don't even have Tyrant up. It's okay. That 600k Legion Strike crit right there. Please tell me you guys saw that. 599,000. Fellstorm crit. 599,000. If you get them out on one character, does it apply to others? I don't know, but I think so. Because I saw people on the mount, and when I like looked at their gear, I'm like, there's no way that that guy was able to do 8 levels of this. Like he didn't have very good gear, so I was like, I'm pretty sure that if you get it on one character, that you get it on every character. So I really try and prioritize when I get that bottled shadow buff. I really try and make sure I use it to kill as many things as I can. Go, guy, go. So see, like, since we've gotten a couple of those Shadow Fury stun increases, the Shadow Fury stun is like 10 seconds. Nice, we got all those. It just goes back full circle. So this, you would think this isn't actually good dealing arcane damage, but we've gotten a couple of these green things that we're gonna have a chance to deal arcane damage with the little bolt. It wouldn't be my first pick, but we actually do have some value for that, even though we are a warlock with no arcane damage in our kit because of that anima power. Yeah, it's account wide. Gray confirmed it. It's account wide. So once you get it done on one character, it makes them all better on all your characters. I mean, honestly, that to me that's kind of worth it, because I don't think I think we're gonna, the maw, whether you like it or not, is gonna be a part, if you're trying to be competitive, is gonna be a part of the game for this expansion. I'm not a big fan of the maw. It's not enjoyable really to me compared to like all the other stuff. But having sockets on all of my gear is enjoyable, so I'm gonna tough it out. You know, at least on one character. But so even though this is definitely like a time investment getting this done, and it's, you know, kind of like long and takes a little while to do, at least with Demonology, I think Torghast is pretty fun by comparison to a lot of other classes. And like once you have it done, like you have access to that mount for the balance of Shadowlands, just to make that content a little bit more enjoyable. Not so painstaking, you know? I'm gonna go ahead and kick the armor plating. I'm gonna go ahead and Tyrant here as well. Where's the other key? Dude, that shackle stuff is pretty brutal. The conduit upgrades, potency above 200, it's the only way. Doing the maw? Wait, what do you mean? Doing the maw is the only way to get potency conduits up above 200 eye level? I'm missing part of what, part of that. I don't know what that means. The other key has to be like right here, right? Yeah, the maw. Oh, I didn't know that. I know that the sockets are a thing, right? So that's something that's obviously going to be important. And the thing too that's kind of cool, right, is you can spend the sockets on like PvP gear if you're a PvPer, and then upgrade the PvP gear, and you don't have to keep getting new sockets, which I actually really like that. That's kind of going to be my plan. But I've kind of slacked on the Moss stuff, so I'm a little ways from having access to the sockets. This is actually pretty huge. I don't know what it is, but this Anima power, the damage of this shadow dot scales a ton. This could be 6,000 or this could be 60,000. I don't know if it's just RNG or if it's based on like what floor you pick it up at, but that the value of the damage of that Anima power is not always the same. Can potency go above 200 at the moment? Yeah, if you get them from the raid, for sure they can. I'll go ahead and send... gonna kill it? Okay, we'll just go ham here. I'm gonna go ahead and pet stun. Mastery, love to see it. This one's okay, I guess. Another not great one, but we'll take it. So we're starting to get the Torment debuff. This can be really brutal if you start getting a lot of health. If you're running Demon Skin, it will kind of like counteract it a little bit. But if you start getting like 6 stacks of that, it's 6% of your health every 5 seconds. It ends up hitting you pretty hard. It's not like usually, it's not like you're gonna die from it, but it basically negates the shield. Okay, we'll take Pact of Thickness because that's one of the favorites. Take this, we'll take this. I'll take the 3% haste. We'll grab that. These other ones or whatever. The Felguard Axe Toss is a stun and an interrupt. If the target's stunnable, it'll stun them, but you can also use it as an interrupt. They did that so like it wasn't like if you're playing Demo and you're running Felguard that you don't have the kick from your Dreadstalker or your what's it called, Fel Hunter. So that way, like on a boss or like, you know, Mythic Plus boss or whatever, if you cast a spell that's interruptible, you can actually kick it with your Axe Toss. If you read the tooltip, it Felguard hurls its weapon, stunning and interrupting the target for 4 seconds. Nice, crit damage and healing. Go ahead and grab that, even though we're not going to need it, but we'll grab it anyway. Another thing, I don't know, I feel like this can't be intended, but your life drain has a really high chance to proc the Blood Gorged Leech thing. I don't know exactly why that is. Like, I don't know if it's because it's counting as like a damage and a heal, but basically, like, if you just sit in life drain, your pet will like instantly heal all the way back up to full. It's a lot faster than Health Funnel if you have a couple points in the Blood Gorged Leech Anima power. Nice, more mastery. Yeah, I have a few potency conduits that are 213, and I'm assuming if you do the Mythic raid, I'm assuming that they're like 226 or whatever eye level the Mythic stuff is, but I haven't done the Mythic raid yet, so I can't tell you that for sure. No potency in the raid. It's only so to get the potency you have to do Moss stuff. That makes sense. I'll have to look that up. Is that stuff you already have access to, Gray? Like, do you already have your potency stuff already past 200, or is it something that's like coming out in a patch or two? Why is he inviting me? Floor 16, guys. The home stretch. We just gotta pay attention. Make sure we don't do anything stupid. Someone also had commented on one of the screenshots I did that they thought that there was some kind of soft cap for your pet's health. You can see right now our pet's at 992,000 health. The only way this is going to scale higher than this, though, at this point, is if I increase my health. And then all the multipliers apply that way, right? Because it's basically your Felguard has 3/4 of what your health is. So if I have 40,000 health, my Felguard has 30,000 health. And then all of his percentage multipliers are based on that 30,000 number. "15-second stun with..." That's so nuts. I need to make sure I remember to use that on the last boss. Use that in our opener. Trying to see if we're like... Okay, nice. Okay, the last boss is right there. So we'll use this this soul right here to kind of cheese the last boss. We'll go with haste. Can't you get them from high keys too? That's a good question. I would guess so. I would think you could get it from the chest. Oh, you're talking about the thing, yeah, the thing that you spend the sticky on or whatever. Yeah, that's just like random though, right? So you think like at this point to upgrade to the potency conduits, you have to kind of like just roll the dice. I feel like they'll implement a different way of doing that at some point here. Okay, here we go. Run, 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 run. Go, go, go. Go, little guy, go. Oh, I should have done this. We'll do this. Stop. I can't even get my rotation off. He just kills him so fast. 300k DPS. I'm gonna go with the drain life one here. Floor 17, guys. 2 more to go. These archers like traumatize me. This is literally like the exact scenario. I was in like one of these T's right here, and one of these archers like aggroed me from behind and killed me. That was kind of scary. No way, dude. I just got one shot. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Iron Shackles damage you for 96,000 damage? Holy shit. That might be GG. Exactly this floor, dude. It was this same thing that happened. That's what I'm saying. This floor is the death of me. 17. This exact floor. Oof. We'll see. This is gonna be really tough because we're only gonna have 100% of the damage from the on the Fell Guard. Like, see how much damage he's taking? Look at that. Obviously, I should have just focused the Lord guy a little more. I was just kind of cleaving everything. But the Shackle Shrek'd me. Damn, dude. Watch the AoE cast. And the AoE cast, I did see those, but I don't think that was what killed me. I think it was literally the Shackle like popped and like one-shot me. I was full health when I died. Literally one shot. Unfortunately, I can't take all these guys, I don't think, right now with... Damn, dude. Yeah, see how, like... They just insta-kill my Fell Guard. Let's see if we can... I don't have anything for this. Dude, he killed me again. Can I kill him? Dude. So if I don't have my kick up for that, I just die in it. I can't survive it. Oh no, man. Oh no. I can like try and fear interrupt it, I guess. I've stun up in like 3 seconds. Oh my gosh. Why is this guy so hard? Dude, he's like harder than all the bosses we've had to kill so far. Oh. Oh man. It's literally the worst because if the Felguard died like 2 or 3 floors earlier, you basically have enough time to get a couple 3 stacks of the buff back to be able to like still be pretty strong. We'll get 1 stack, but like right now it shows it at 0. So it's like you don't start at 100%, you start at 0. So we're only going to be at 100% of the bonus damage going into the last boss, which is definitely not ideal. I was worried that exact scenario was gonna happen. That something was gonna happen and we're gonna lose we're gonna die on the last floor. Now I know on those guys though, like if we don't end up getting it this time, I need to basically just use cooldowns on the Lord of Locks, because the fact that they just one-shot you if they get that shackle off, if you don't have your kick up, you're dead. I don't have anything for the other. These pats just keep coming or what? It's like ring around the rosy. I don't have cooldowns for this. Oh, did I pull them? I did. Shoot. Dude, I'm so scuffed. Go, we're kiting. Oh, I can't jump either, dude. I can't even do like my run jump. Dude, it just takes so long to kill things. I keep having to just summon him over and over and over again. I'm just gonna fear this guy. Tyrant here again. I don't have anything to interrupt that. When they get the accrued strength, they can like one-shot our Felguard. I can't believe I just survived that right there. That was so sketch. You just get cucked on the powers throughout the run. So the only thing that I got cucked on is the intimacy one, this one. Because that scales up to 500%. And when you die, it goes back down to 0. So going into this last boss, we'll have 100% of the 500%, which is not ideal. It's I would think, I haven't done it yet, right? This is the first time I've gone through doing doing layer 8, so I can't say that for sure. Dude, and even that deafening howl just hit so hard. I can't say for sure, but I think it's still doable without that. But we'll have to see. We'll know after one attempt. The main thing is if your pet, basically, depending on what the mechanics are, if your pet's getting like one shot, it's very hard to do any of the fights, because even if your pet doesn't do a lot of damage, you still need him to survive to like frontline for you, you know? So we'll have to see. It's hard for me to say for sure until we get there. We still got 3 lives left, so I really hope I don't have to go back through and do 17 floors again because we died to that stupid lord. You left the power behind? The soul guy? Yeah, I was gonna go back and get it. I try and save it for that 200% bonus. I was seeing if there's anything like around this corner. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, is he chasing a mall rat? What the hell? Where'd this guy come from? Oh, I didn't mean to cast that. Oh, you're talking about this over here? Where do we think the last boss is? Which way do we think it is? Down this way? Oh god, even these guys are hard. Just gonna grab this. Holy shit. No! The imp's pulled! Okay. Here's our time. We gotta just pop cooldowns here. Turret, strength, go! Nice. Okay, we still did some damage there. Just gotta be a little more liberal with our cooldowns. I'm trying to figure out where the last boss is here, because we're gonna really need, I think it's back the other way. We're really gonna want to try and get one of the soul remnant buffs. Dude, homeboy is just getting chunked. I wonder if you could like indefinitely oh my gosh. What the hell? Dude, this is like a little scary. Dude, Fireball is just wrecking. See that Fireball just killed the homie? Is this thing gaining my... Is it gaining my soul bind? What is that thing? It keeps looking like it's like dying, but it doesn't actually die. Okay, so that goes back to the beginning. So we have to go back down this way. Oh, goodness, guys. Dude, that literally one-shot me. Oh, God, that's so annoying. Oh, this Anima power. This is the one you're talking about, huh? Sure wish it was a better one. This Torment, the Soul Forge one that I was talking about, this damage over time, makes some of this stuff pretty tough, because what ends up happening is it's not really doing damage to you, but the whole like absorption. Oh, dude, these guys again. The whole absorb shield that you usually have, you don't get anymore. And so it makes it so if you don't get like a pretty big like increase to your health pool, there's stuff that just can like one shot you. Like that AoE shit that just happened. I'm gonna fear this guy. I'm gonna try and focus the casters down here first. Oh my god, dude. You literally just fireballed the cuck out of our homie. Oh, that didn't hit that? Interrupt on the inner flames? Should be okay still. Holy shit. Can I pull just... If I can't pull just this guy, I don't know that I'm going to be able to kill these guys. I have to pet stun that. I need to pop cooldowns on this guy. He's just too tanky. Not even gonna loot it. Okay, I need to wait for demonic strength to come back up. We'll just try and shadow fury cleave. I think this is the boss, right? Yeah, 3.7 million health. Ten seconds. What's up, Bluffer? Tonight, I don't think I'll have time to do RBGs tonight, but this is like the last kind of like thing I wanted to get done this week for like content wise. So assuming we beat this tonight, like this weekend, tomorrow, this weekend, we'll for sure try and put a group together. Okay, I don't have Tyrant, but it should be okay. Dude. Oh my god, dude. I gotta fear this guy. Oh my gosh. So sketchy. Oh my goodness. Making my heart rate go up, dude. Okay. Flame tender. Okay, I'm actually like worried on this guy that he's gonna like fireball my Felguard is gonna like insta kill him. Okay. We'll do the big opener here. Full opener. Oh, I didn't mean to cast that early. What happens if I pet stun him? It's only a few seconds. Okay, I can coil off that. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be hard. I don't know. That's fine, I guess. Okay. So we'll go into this last floor, floor 18. Our pet should have around 300,000 health, I think. It takes a second, it's a little bit delayed. But he should have 100% bonus damage and 100% bonus health. Yeah, 330k. Hopefully that's enough. I might have to life drain a bunch throughout this fight to try and proc the blood gorged leech thing. I'm guessing. Which boss is it? I don't know if this one's that tough or not. 9 million health, man. It would have been real nice to have some of this other stuff. I'm gonna go with this. Get the 3% haste. Oh, I didn't use the, shoot, I didn't even use that Anima cell thing. I always forget that one. Critical strike chance is increased by 25%. Okay. Pop a health stone or make a health stone here. Buy lives? Is that even a thing? I've never had to buy lives before. I usually don't die at all. Where are lives? You trolling me? Oh, these are lives? Oh, nice. I never had to buy those before. Oh yeah, okay. He does a beam and a barrage? Okay. Dude, look how much damage he's doing. I'm having a life drain here because oh my god. Hopefully the instant summon helps. Can I Shadow Fury that? Oh nice, Shadow Fury's still really long. He's gonna kill my pet again. Shoot, dude. Get back to the circle. This is so sketch. I have my tyrant up here pretty soon. Oh my gosh, he one-shot me! I literally can't keep my pet alive during that though. I can't keep the Felguard up. Now he's gonna be all squishy again. I can keep resummoning. The problem is he doesn't get threat. He doesn't have threat on the he doesn't have threat on the boss. Can he be slowed? Try Voidwalker. Does Voidwalker take that much less damage? I lose all my damage from demonic strength and shit though. Like, fear works. That's true. I could have feared him more. Maybe we'll have to do that. I was keeping tongues up on him for the cast, which I think if I do that in the beginning, because that's the problem, is my pet's taking a ton of magic damage. Don't do Voidwalker. Yeah, I think Voidwalker will be not that good. Yeah, I guess I can Fear Spam and Life Drain to try and wait for... So the Shadow Fury stun is full duration. So maybe... I think maybe that's the play. I think we Shadow Fury stun in the opener. And then go into our like full damage. Let's try that. Go to just coil right off the bat. Look, it literally does so much damage. Oh my god, I can't even. I think it's gonna, Fear's gonna DR though. Oh, take the gate. Is Curse of Weakness to play? Or, I mean, Curse of Exhaustion? I think that's the play. This is so brutal, dude. Oh! I can't get out of that! You think my stun DR is back up? Oh, go get him! Kill him! Kill him! Go! Oh my god! My hands are so sweaty, dude. Holy shit. Alright, well, it is good to know that we basically got 0 value from what is arguably our strongest Anima power. That was not nearly as clean as I wish it was. If we had that 500% bonus damage, that last fight would have been very different there. I think we would have been able to just like kill him in the opener. But at least we finished it. We got our mount. Oh my goodness, that is that's one for the books right there. Holy crap. I'm really glad that we finished it though. I didn't have to like redo all of this. All right, let's check out the mount. Check out the mount. Oh my goodness. It's so funny, dude. So if you're able to survive, okay, note for future, if I ever end up going back through this again, Lord of Locks wrecks you. You have to save a kick for that, the shackle ability. And really, really, really make sure that you don't die, because if you lose that Intimacy Pact buff, it's pretty miserable. The Tyrant didn't seem that OP. Yeah, it did. It did a lot of damage in the opener, but it's hard to get the reopener there because like the timing is just so brutal. And like we're just having to kite right there so much and just try and survive everything, you know? What's that thing called? What's the mount called? Damn it. Twisted Corridor, yeah, maybe that'll... Yeah, there you go. Corridor Creeper. Good call. Boom. There it is. There it is. This is so glorious. So long, you walking losers. Look at you. You look so dumb over there. Need some like Ferrari sound effects. Hell yeah. Oh, well that's a relief. We're done. Oh. See ya. Not gonna catch me. It's crazy too, like in the Maw, the mounts feel like they're faster because you're so used to just waddling around like in Dingus, you know? So it's like the 100% really feels really good in the Maw. Oh man, okay guys, that was it. I wanted to just hop on the stream, get the corridors, the layer 8 done, and have that VOD up by itself. So that was the plan. I'm glad that we got that in one shot. That would have been brutal if we had to redo that. I think the OP powers are more demon summoned from the Tyrants than the Epic where the Tyrant consumes the Soul Remnants. Yeah, that one definitely is really strong if you can get multiple of it. Like I've had where I've had like 4 or 5 Tyrants when you summon Tyrant, and that's like super, super strong. Look at that, dude. This thing actually looks kind of cool. I can't really run out of here because I already have like level 4 with the Jailer, and they'll jump me. Let's see, what the hell? Get out of here, dude. I'm just hanging out. Too far out. How long did running the whole Twisted end up taking you? So the earlier levels take about they take about an hour to an hour and a half usually. The last few get kind of tough, especially if you die at all. Like that, like what happened there was like worst situation because the last couple floors are the ones that are the toughest. So I would say it's about an hour, hour and a half per level, depending on how quickly you get which traits. Because if you get Hellfire Pact and Intimacy Pact early, then it makes the rest of the run just a lot easier and like quicker. But if you don't get them until like halfway through, the first half is going to take you a lot longer. You know what I mean? You actually got lucky. There's so much worse bosses. I totally agree with you. Some of those bosses I have a hard time, even when I'm like really buffed up. The last bosses can be kind of tough because they just chunk your pet, or they take like massively reduced damage. Did 460k DPS on layer 8 last boss? You definitely need fat luck. Yeah, the 5 Tyrants is way more relevant. Yeah. Yeah. Hindsight's 2020, right? At least we got it though. Least we got it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Like always, I really do appreciate it. I am hoping I'll be around this weekend, though. I really do want to, if Bluff Revere so here, I really do want to try and schedule and get the 7 Demo Lock RBG stuff going. Try and hop on, maybe do some PV and PvP and stuff like that. I also have a couple of videos I want to record and get those uploaded here over the next few days. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Like always, I really do appreciate it. What Lego are you running? We are running Demonic Synergy. We're running Demonic Synergy that run. Vision of Demonic Synergy. This is only rank 2. But thanks again, guys, and I will catch you guys here over the next couple days. You guys have a good night. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.